They claim poor maintenance of school buses led to tragedy. A family suing a school district over a deadly crash involving a Lincoln County school bus. What we learned during a hearing today. And who UK coach John Calipari says he'll be thinking of when he's inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame tonight.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. 3 days after her family reported her missing, state police say they found a Laurel County woman dead, and tonight they have charged her estranged boyfriend with murder.
Police say they found 25-year-old Amber Decker's body in a wooded area off Arrowwood Road near London. Our Garrett Weimer is tracking the investigation tonight. It's our top story at 6.
Police say it all started on Tuesday when family members reported Amber Decker missing. Police say the family had told them they hadn't talked to her in several days, but when they got here to check on her, police say they discovered the mobile home had burned. We're told no body was found inside the home at the time, but police tell us they did find Decker's body behind her house in the woods this morning. They've now arrested her estranged boyfriend, Joseph Nestor, in the case. They say he'll face murder charges.
Detectives putting in a lot of hard work and long hours is the result of it.
Police say the investigation here is ongoing. In Laurel County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And at last check, state police say they were still questioning Nestor. They'll take him to the Laurel County Detention Center tonight. In Estill County, state police have launched a homicide investigation after finding a man dead in a home. The Estill County coroner says the body was found about 11:30 this morning along Pea Ridge Road near Irvin. The man's name has not been released, but police say he was 44 years old. The body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy.
Tonight, we are tracking some showers and some storms that are ushering in major changes in our weather. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell shows us what he's tracking for us on the First Alert Defender.
And right now, guys, we're talking about a bigger push of some showers and thunderstorms out to our west that will likely sweep in. You can see it right there. It has been one that's been slow to move, but is really starting to put its act together and make a run toward us here in central and southern parts of Kentucky as well. We're also tracking a few showers and thunderstorms all around the area as we go into our area. In particular, we go right into Lexington, and you can see that one shower that's now stretching from parts of Fayette County also over into Bourbon County. No lightning associated with that, just good old heavy rain. As we go into the end of the weekend, you're going to look at a bigger, cooler air mass. Highs and lows 10 to 15 degrees below average. Some 40-degree nights are also coming, and I'm talking about coming up tomorrow night. Early on Monday morning, we could be in the mid and upper 40s as we likely clear up the atmosphere and the chill really pushes in. I mean, that's some impressive stuff, but we will recover going into next week. I'll take a closer look at all of it and track it hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. His family blames a school district for his death. Tonight, we're learning more about a lawsuit filed after a man died in a crash involving a Lincoln County school bus. William Coleman was killed last year when police say the bus hit his truck. His family sued Lincoln County Schools, and a hearing today revealed why they think the school district should be held responsible. Hillary Thornton has more.
It is a startling lawsuit claiming that this deadly crash that sent more than 24 middle school students to the hospital is the result of a, quote, systematic failure. The suit claims that the Lincoln County superintendent, transportation director, bus driver, and 2 mechanics were all part of the failure to maintain buses. Also claiming mechanics at the district's garage manually adjusted things, including brake systems, that they were not supposed to.
The evidence is clear that this bus garage was doing things in an improper way, a dangerous way.
The defense argues those claims cannot be directly connected to the brakes on the bus involved in the tragic crash. The judge then brought up an issue the driver had going down a hill earlier the day of the crash that she failed to formally report.
It was an extremely muddy spot, and it wasn't a brake failure.
We want our buses to work even if we're in a muddy spot, though, right? We're carrying our children.
While discussing all of these claims, the big topic inside of the courtroom today was the request by the defense for both the superintendent and the transportation director to be immune from the November trial.
Called qualified immunity, and it says that any public official who makes discretionary policy type decisions and supervises other people is entitled to immunity if they're claimed or alleged to have done something wrong in making those decisions.
The other side says that rule should not apply, as Superintendent Karen Hatter knew about the issues and did nothing about them, citing lack of manpower and funding.
Should be the #1 priority. If the kids can't get from their home to the school, then what does it matter what happens once they get to school? The buses should be the primary responsibility of the school district, and they were derelict in that duty last year.
In Lincoln County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The judge didn't make a decision on any of the motions heard today. The trial is scheduled to begin November 2nd.
Tonight, a UK law student has been charged in connection to a drone crash at Commonwealth Stadium. The drone went down inside the stadium just minutes before the UK game against Louisiana Lafayette Saturday night. As Mike Linden tells us, police say the drone nearly hit some soldiers who were parachuting onto the field.
Just before kickoff during last weekend's UK football game against Louisiana Lafayette, fans spotted a drone flying over the stadium. UK police say they've found and charged the pilot with second-degree wanton endangerment.
And that was pretty much based on the danger that it posed when it crashed into the stadium with several people below.
Chief Monroe says 24-year-old first-year UK law student Peyton Wilson of Louisville was piloting the quadcopter drone when it crashed before kickoff.
UK police say Wilson was piloting the drone in the parking lot as early as the tailgating event earlier that afternoon. And then just before the game started, they say he flew the drone toward the south side suite level glass when it crashed.
UK police say while no one was hurt from the crash, the drone came dangerously close to the military parachutists skydiving toward the field.
They had to take emergency evasive maneuvers to avoid the drone, which came within 15 to 20 feet of them as they were parachuting onto the field.
Chief Monroe says this is the first drone-related citation at UK, one that will set a precedent.
This is not going to be tolerated at the University of Kentucky in these venues without prior approval.
Wilson faces up to a year in jail and/or fines. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
FAA safety guidelines say that unmanned aircraft, like drones, are not allowed to fly near people or stadiums, and they have to remain clear of surrounding obstacles.
New tonight, attorneys for Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis have filed an emergency stay motion in a federal appeals court. The motion claims federal judge David Bunning expanded an injunction against Davis while it was already on appeal, violating a fundamental rule of due process. Her attorneys say the couples who sued to receive marriage licenses now have what they wanted, so they think the original injunction against Davis that ordered her to issue marriage licenses is now moot and should be dismissed. Davis is expected to return to her office on Monday.
Today, many people around the Bluegrass mark the 14th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks. Lexington firefighters and police officers honored the first responders killed in those attacks by placing a wreath at Phoenix Park. They say it's important to never forget the sacrifices first responders made that day.
We told the world that we would never forget, and we told the families we would never forget, and this just proves that we haven't, and it proves that we're not going to.
The Fraternal Order of Firefighters also honored the victims of 9/11 with a stair climb on the UK campus.
Tonight, we are learning more about some proposed changes to traffic patterns in downtown Lexington. Next week, Lexington city leaders will consider dropping speed limits downtown from 35 miles per hour to 25. And the University of Kentucky also wants to drop speed limits on campus. Tonight at 11, we'll have more about the proposals and what drivers think about them. Tonight, the Naismith Hall of Fame inducts its new members, including UK coach John Calipari and UK basketball legend Louis Dampier.
The ceremony is taking place in Springfield, Massachusetts, and Coach Cal says one special person played a big role in his journey to the Hall of Fame. Our Lee K. Howard has more from Springfield.
John Calipari will be surrounded by many of his peers, players, and family tonight when he's inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. But there is one person who will not be here this evening that taught him to dream big. His mother, who he says she would have loved this moment.
There's some things I'll say about her that are based on that. You know, I miss her spirit, her positive. She wouldn't let anybody ever steal joy. Her whole thing was, look, you keep looking that way, you keep doing right, having a good heart, treating people right, you'll be fine. Just keep marching, keep moving. Biggest thing was she taught us to dream beyond our surroundings. She said, look around, you don't have to be, this doesn't hold you back. Just because this is how it is right now, it doesn't have to be this way for you.
And Calipari said that his mother had 2 goals for all 3 of her children: get a college education and be able to buy a $100,000 home. I'd say Calipari has exceeded his own mother's expectations. Here in Springfield, Massachusetts, Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
So special that he remembered his mom on this day. Some former and current Wildcats will be at tonight's ceremony in Massachusetts, including John Wall and Anthony Davis.
New tonight, the Urban County Council has approved a proposal to move 2 facilities that help the homeless.
According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, the agreement is part of a settlement between the city, the homeless shelters, and fair housing advocates. The city will transfer ownership of a building on Industry Road to Divine Providence, which oversees the Community Inn and the Catholic Action Center, both on Winchester Road.
Tonight, we have learned a new restaurant will soon be coming to downtown Lexington. HopCat, a restaurant and brewery, will soon open in the square. It's being billed as Lexington's largest craft beer bar with 100 different craft beers on tap. HopCat plans to hire 150 people. The restaurant is scheduled to open next month.